Joining us now from House Judiciary, back with us is Congressman Greg Steube. Congressman, it's good to have you back on. We had a major, pretty stunning disclosure from Facebook Vice President and former British Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg. He's admitting to the European Union that, yeah, Facebook's fact checkers are biased and are pursuing their own political agenda after they censored Trump, conservatives, and things like the Wuhan lab leak. This is Nick Clegg saying that. What do you say?
Yeah, that shouldn't be surprising to any American that's kept up with the censorship that's gone on by these big tech companies. I had the opportunity to actually ask Zuckerberg in a committee hearing that very question, and he tried to deflect. And then when I pressed him on the question as to, do you have conservatives that are fact checkers? He couldn't give me a single example of a conservative organization or outlet that's part of his fact checkers. So we know very well that his quote unquote fact checkers are left-leaning, if not left bias on everything that they're doing. And I can tell you, I get phone calls and reaches out to our district office all the time about people in my district being censored, being their posts being censored. All the time throughout this country. It's not a surprise to anybody that we actually now have factual evidence that this is going on.
Yeah, he said could be politically biased, that they have their own political agenda. Former UK Cabinet Minister David Jones commented on this, saying this is deeply worrying. And, you know, Facebook announced its fact-checking partnership in 2016 to go after Trump, and now it's led to all sorts of information being blocked on their own website. So what are they? Are they just a social platform, or are they a publisher?
No, they're absolutely a publisher, which is why I have a bill that would reform Section 230. And until we reform Section 230, their liability protection, because they are acting like publishers, they're going to continue to behave in the manners in which they want to behave. And there's no retribution for them. Nobody has any action that they can take. Look what happened to the New York Post with the Hunter Biden story. New York Post could do nothing, and their Twitter account was shut down. And it's because they have liability protection under Section 230. They act like publishers, just like news outlets, just like newspapers. And unlike news outlets and newspapers, they can't be sued. So they're going to continue to behave in the manner in which they're behaving until we take that Section 230 liability protection away from them.
But the issue is the American people being misled too. That's also the issue, because Facebook has been accused of bias and censoring legitimate stories and stifling public debate, including censoring stories relating to the possibility that the coronavirus escaped and leaked from the Wuhan lab. It reversed its decision to stop blocking those stories when President Biden ordered an inquiry into those claims. Livermore National Lab says it's plausible. So this felt really out on a limb when Facebook was censoring those stories.
Well, yeah, and in the beginning it was deemed a conspiracy theory. So anybody that was talking about the lab leak or that COVID came from the Wuhan lab, you were censored or shut down, or they just wouldn't track those different comments on their Facebook pages. That absolutely is happening. Now suddenly the experts at Facebook believe that there's actually a plausible connection that it did come from a lab. So now those type of comments are okay. They're 100% directing and determining what speech is appropriate for their platform, that is publicizing, that is editorializing, and it should be stopped under Section 230. But they have liability protection. So until we fix that, they're going to continue to behave in the manner in which they're behaving.
You know, Trump brought up the Wuhan lab leak possibility last year. Are Facebook's social media, are Democrats, is the gain-of-function bureaucracy in the government, are they hurting the national conversation and the American people because of their hatred for Trump and blocking information about something that affected everyone's health?
Yeah, this has been political from the very beginning. Just look at all the different mask mandates and shutting down economies and all these things without facts, without any factual basis or scientific evidence that actually works. Just because it came from the Trump administration, they were telling you not to do it. Just look in the beginning of the vaccine distribution. They were saying, well, you know, liberals were saying and Democrats were saying you shouldn't take the vaccine because it came from the Trump administration. And now they're saying, no, it's safe to take the vaccine. First it was Fauci said you didn't wear a mask, and now you had to wear a mask, and now not wearing a mask is okay if you're vaccinated. It was all political from the very beginning, and hopefully at some point the American people are going to see that for what it is.
Congressman Greg Steube, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Next up.